Growing up and maturing, and when did you feel like you were the adult in the room? Now, this is more just a random thought. We often talk about adulting all the time, the bills, the jobs, the lifestyle changes, but when do we feel like we've left the young person who we were behind and we become the adult in the room? And how does that hit you in here? How does it really impact you? That psychological shift from the dependent child to the independent adult. Was it something for you that was more gradual as your job increasingly became more responsibility focused, and particularly as you became more senior, did you feel like, oh wow, I'm the senior manager, I'm the manager in this room, and therefore I have a responsibility here? Is it the responsibility that really does it? Or is it something that just happens to come with age when you can drink for the first time, when you can do the various different things that come with the age restrictions being removed away? Is that what makes you feel like you become an adult? Or is it responsibility for other people in your life, whether that's having a child or whether it's when you're in situations, particularly thinking about particular jobs, teaching, medicine, when you have someone's life in your hands and therefore you're responsible in that respect? For a lot of people, we reach that independence a lot later in life. Education for some people is a very long, drawn out process. And yes, they have a type of independence, but does that transition from dependent child to that independent adult happen at the same rate for everyone? Particularly thinking for those individuals that might have spent a long time, particularly in education, and then maybe have done a lot of traveling. And whilst they are an adult, chronologically speaking, they aren't necessarily, or do they feel like that they've really grown up and they're mature in that respect? Some people might do. Some people feel like, oh no, I'm just a big kid. And that's equally completely fine. But is there a fundamental shift and particular life occurrences that cause that? And what do we gain and lose with those transitions? When we become an adult, we gain the responsibility, we gain possibly some freedoms, but we also have those responsibilities. We need to pay the bills, we need to do this, we need to do this. And if we don't do them, then we either lose the house, lose the job, and so on. And equally with when we say potentially in some cases that goodbye to that young person who we were, what does that impact us psychologically? A lot of the fun that goes with youth that we potentially close the door on. Do we, in some cases, or are we seeing a change in trying to maintain that youthful attitude for as long as possible? And is that a good thing, or that more freedom focus that you have where you're taking a bit more individualistic focus rather than the responsibility focus? How do you view maturing and adulting? That's what I really want to unpack.